So
Tezca.
Did everyone catch
on where you're going to be after you do a hit than it is about where you position the opponent after you do the hit. So like like you were saying with how Scythe is like repositioning the opponent.
Exactly.
Is repositioning yourself. So the regular one was like leaving you in the air. This one lets you go back down to the ground.
Yeah, and you're just holding down.
Yeah, I'm just holding down for this one.
And that's with every directional active input, is you hold that direction that it is. So for side, without, wait, and then with, you keep holding that direction to get that active input. So
I never knew the logic behind it. I was just like, I just hold a direction. I'm like, okay, maybe this one is the one that's the right direction.
So that's regular side light.
Oh, sorry. The regular kind of.
Oh wait, that was
forward,
active input. Yeah. So there you go. So you stay on the ground, and as I showed, if you want, you can do the active input.
Yeah.
The active input instead places Tezca in the air, right? So, boom, up in the air. So it's for different types of follow-ups. Maybe a mix-up if you kind of are doing the same thing, kind of like in traditional fighters when you're they're blocking a lot and you mix it up with a grab. This is now, you're kind of doing the same attack.
It's a little bit of a mix-up.
Mixing it up.
Changing how you're setting up. You get, again, like different follow-ups off of what you do.
Yeah.
And the one thing that is always of note for these kind of active inputs is, like, you can't do the active input if you miss.
Yes.
So you just get the 2 hit, and then it's the 3rd hit that lets you go.
Yeah, and that's true with all active input. Yeah. As long as you hit, you can choose to or not do the active input.
That's going to be really important with the cider.
Yes.
Because it took me a long time of playtesting to be like,
Oh, I know. Especially because, we started testing him with gauntlets, right?
Yeah.
And so I kept trying to do the cider to get back to stage because without it, you just do that. But with active input, you do forward, which you showed off a few times in the trailer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, there was cider also. Yeah, it's actually all directional. All directional attacks have active input.
So that's the side and down if it's
side and down. Side and down each have active input that you can again choose to or not do. So I just showed down air. Without it, you pop up, and with it, you hold down because you're doing down air and you follow through. It looks a little bit different on stage than off stage, but again, the trailer, the original Battle Boots trailer showed that off super well.
And then, of course, like you were saying, the neutrals don't have that active input.
Yeah, no active input.
Just the neutral light, pretty straightforward. If you've played Brawlhalla, most neutral lights are kind of like this.
This is a pretty classic
nice and easy. And then a good nair right here.
Oh, I'm a big fan of that.
Nice little pop up.
Yeah, that one doesn't have much variable force, so that means that it doesn't, the more damaged I am, the farther, I'm not going to go as far, because variable force kind of changes based on how much damage your opponent has that you're hitting.
I really love the curve on that is really, really good. You can see I used it in the original Battle Boots teaser. Was using that huge curve to hit on the back end.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I overspaced it. Oh, now you're just cheating me out of it. I did it first try and then you moved. Can't believe
I call it out and then now you're thinking about it and it's a challenge. But yeah, that nair, you can see I'm pretty damaged. It's not likely to KO, especially not from main stage.
Oh, it definitely will not. There's no way that nair KOs.
Maybe at 700, all right?
Yeah, maybe if I really juggle you up there. But you can see how little variable force it has, especially if I hit, same with sidelight. Again, it's a follow-up tool.
A lot of these are combo setup, and then you go for the follow-up. There you go.
Exactly, yeah. I'd love also to GC the neutral light.
Oh, yeah.
That is people doing that on sword off stage. I'm all about it, down here, hit the quick GC.
Throw some feet out there. And then, of course, Tezca, that's the next legend, because I see people in chat, maybe they joined late, and then they don't know what the weapons are. It's gauntlets, good old-fashioned gauntlets. You know the gauntlets. They're not
different. It's